Hello, hello.
Skips a beat.
Awesome.
Rising, the week is in bloom. Tarot's my compass, lighting the room. Magical
Hello, hello.
Monday, manifestation. Can make
Welcome,
the shift up,
everyone.
all wheels in motion. Oracle whispers, a sea of devotion.
All is here today. Hi, Linnea
For my heart,
and
one
Bonnie
for the
and Joanne and
fire.
Natalia and Deborah,
Pentacles
everybody on
ground me,
camera, and hi to
swords cut the
everyone else
wire.
not on camera.
Every flip
Welcome,
is a
welcome. So glad
spark
you're
in my
all here.
chest. Magical
Took me a
Monday's
little bit to get going
manifestation
this
is the
morning, but I think
week's
I'm in it.
very
I
best.
think what you say, I think my sails caught the wind. Let's hope. I haven't had coffee this morning, y'all. It's going to be an interesting read. Y'all ready? It's Monday. And we're
Energy's
gonna make it
rising,
fucking magical.
the week is in bloom.
All right, let's get started. Let me do that, and we'll do this. All right, hello. Let me get this set up right. Hi, my name is Valorie Lewis. I am a psychic medium, tarot, an oracle card reader, channeler, spiritual mentor, and coach, all the things. And this weekend, it was so interesting, so synchronistic. I have to share this with you. I'm looking for my deck. Okay. Um, I just started, like, I don't know, over Thursday and Friday rewatching Spider-Man because I'm a huge Marvel freak fan. And I was rewatching Spider-Man because I cannot wait until they released it yet? Somebody let me know. Until they finally release Spider-Man No Way Home. It's been caught up in legal battles. So anyway, I've been rewatching the old ones. And then I go to my meetup on Saturday and everybody's introducing themselves and telling everybody how they know me. And one of my friends who's been a friend for many, many years introduced me as the friendly neighborhood psychic. And I was just like, oh my God, I think I'm keeping that one. I like it. And how would she have even possibly known that I was watching the Spider-Man series? So I love, love, love synchronicities like that from the universe. All right, so welcome to today's reading, today's insight into the week ahead so that we can be lined up with spirit and what spirit says would be in our best interest to focus on. Magical Monday manifestations are about taking this information into your life, integrating and acting upon the messages so that you can manifest despite all of the ways we get in our own way to manifesting. Spirit comes in to try to help clear out some of that rubble so we have a cleaner path to our manifestations every Monday. Love, love, love doing these. So we'll start off with a tarot read and then we'll move into oracle cards. And then as time permits, we will do one card tarot readings for select members of the audience, always spirit guided as far as who gets selected. And then after that, we'll have a little bit of a time for an energy activation. We activate whatever energies come through during the reading that spirit says are in our best interest. So, and in the middle of all of that, the cards and everything, I also allow any messages that are channeled that come through from spirit that are in the highest and best for this group. So, speaking of this group and the collective energies that I draw from, please take a moment to take a couple of deep breaths to settle into this space of community, to bring yourself to the current present moment, doing your best to let go of any worries from the past, any anxiety about the future. Focus on your day right here, right now. What is present for you? What do you have questions about? What would you need guidance on, clarity around? Go ahead and hold that energy for just a moment. And then imagine that you are putting all of that energy, all of those questions, all of those asks into a helium balloon, and you're letting it go, and it's floating up, 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 and away from you to spirit. And what's going to come back down are answers, clarity, a response to your ask. So we're done asking, we're going to receive and allow whatever comes through to be our message for this week going forward. Whatever resonates most with us is what we are meant to take away from this gathering. All right, go ahead and open your eyes and come back to the room if you haven't already. And as soon as I did that little exercise, my nose started to run. So we are synced up. We are good. Thanks, Spirit. Maybe next time not a runny nose to let me know I'm in alignment. That'd be great. Okay. The deck that I'm pulling from, let's get into tarot, is the Wild Unknown Tarot, Kim Kranz. She has an amazing coloring book. I call it a coloring book that goes along. It doesn't go along with the deck. It's just a separate thing. She's an amazing artist. Anyway, this book switches around the decks, and I have to make sure I know what it calls them. One moment, so I don't get all tripped up when I get into the reading. We go. Daughter, I'm going to say it out loud so y'all can correct me if I mess it up. Daughter is the page, son is the knight, and then mother and father are king and queen. I think I can remember that. All right. Spirit, what do we most need to know this week about manifesting our most wildly abundant, joyful, fulfilling, purposeful lives? Y'all like that question? All right, let's see. So many more are on camera. Hello, hello. This is your first time, put it over in chat. I love to say hello and welcome first timers. All right. Got one popping right out. Joanne, hi. Miss Nee, Patricia, Emily, hello, hello.
4 new people.
This deck is interesting. I don't often pull from this deck just because it switches some of the order around and it calls the cards different things. And as I'm shuffling through and trying to get the cards, I always pull my cards energetically, so it's almost never the one on top of the deck. The energy I get from this is a lot of spiderweb energy, is what I like to call it. It's a lot of it's spider web energy. Oh, interesting, because I've been watching Spider-Man. That is not the correlation I made. Spider web energy, to me, how it's described and how I visualize it, it's when you have a lot of things, when you feel kind of sticky in whatever energy that you're in, and you have a lot of different chords, a lot of different weavings, and it doesn't feel like a clear-cut answer. It feels like if I make this one decision, I'm plucking on this one little web, and all of these other things end up being affected. Like, I can't just decide to take a vacation because I also have to worry about the money in my bank account and if I have enough time off work and who's going to fill in for me and what happens when I come back. And if I come back and my work isn't done, how awful is that going to be? And how long should I take this vacation? And maybe instead of a week, I should take 3 days, and on and on and on. That's the spider web. That's our brain making all of these connections where a simple decision doesn't seem like a simple decision. That's the energy I felt as I pulled these cards. So hopefully we can start to unravel some of that energy if anyone feels like that energy, feels like sticky energy. In computer language, for those of you who are more analytical minded, I walk both worlds, but the analytical is the if then this tree, where it's like I can't just do one thing because if I do this, then this and this and this and this and this are all going to happen as a result of this one thing. So let's see how spirit can help us kind of unravel, unwind, and get to the root of what we really need to focus on this week. First up is actually a really good card. It's the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups represents completion, fulfillment. Cups is emotions, our intuition, water energy, anything that is flowing. And the 10 of Cups is usually like the happy life kind of card. It usually has a rainbow, and here this artist has depicted the rainbow image with just a lot of different colors as it all pours out of these cups. What I don't normally see in traditional tarot card imagery But what I'm noticing here is how, it looks just like a spider web. Y'all, sometimes it takes a minute for my brain to like make the correlation. I pulled from a deck that literally shows spider web energy. But the thing that I am noticing with these webs is that each one of these cups is evenly and equally pouring into the cups at the bottom for each one of these cups. So there's an even exchange. There's what I would call, even amidst all of the presumable webbing, there's an even exchange. There's a balance. We want balance, especially when we've got to a 10, a completion. So not only is there a balance, but what I didn't recognize as, oh, this looks like webbing, I didn't recognize it because it's so pretty. It's so colorful. To me, my first inclination was that looks like a pretty piece of art. And then as I felt into the energy some more, I was like, oh, that actually kind of could go look like a web, kind of like what we described. So my question to you is, are you looking at all of the interconnectedness of your life and calling it a sticky, messy spider web? Or are you looking at it and finding all of the beauty and calling it a work of interwoven art? Because you can look at it either way. Either way, the message is a 10, a completion, usually a happy and fulfilling, joyful type of completion. If you're not feeling that energy, how can you switch your perspective, team up with your spirit guides, ask source, hey, I'm looking at this situation. Doesn't look like happy-go-lucky rainbows in the sky to me, spirit. Can you help me see it from your vantage point so I can understand where you're trying to show me the positive, where you're trying to show me the balance? Because spirit is very clearly saying it's there. That's the point I'm trying to drive through. This card is for everybody. It's there. The only question is, are you seeing it? And if you're not seeing it, there's some exercises for how you can see it. Ask your spirit guides to show it to you. Try to see it from a different perspective. So 10, completion. What is ready to be done? And how can you let it go, move on from it, and leave it in a positive place? Instead of storing that doneness in a bucket of didn't quite work out, didn't give me what I want, I feel unfulfilled from it, whatever that is that would label it as a spider web. As we step away from it, can we give it one last glance and try to see it as this rainbow work of art and positively store it in our memory, in our mind, in our experiences? Can we positively let it be done, but also leave it with a positive note, a positive connotation? So that's 10 of cups. Starting our week off with completion, with being done with something. Maybe something unfolded for you over the weekend. Maybe something will unfold for you within the first Monday, Tuesday of this week. The real thing is, can you allow yourself to let it be done? That's one of the biggest hiccups we have as humans, beating a dead horse, so to speak. Sometimes we can't get out of our own way, and the easiest thing to do is for us to just walk away and say, I'm done with this. All right. Next up is the 4 of Pentacles with more little rainbow colored cords. 4 of Pentacles, 4s in numerology and also in the Tarot represent the first sign of stability, not completion like a 10 where you've done it all, but 4 is the first sign of I'm working towards this thing, and now I kind of think sort of maybe spirit is on my side. I think I'm doing the right thing. When 4 comes in, it's like, oh, there's that sign. Oh, now I feel I can breathe a little bit easier. I feel like I can sit back a little because now I feel like I'm pointing in the right direction. I don't have my full blown everything, but I feel that first sign of stability, that first, yeah, we're pointed in the right way. And when you feel this with the 4 of Pentacles, Pentacles is earth energy, Pentacles is tangible, Pentacles is what is physically manifested in this world. Pentacles is often coins, money, abundance, job, career, family, anything that we place value upon that is physical and tangible that we can interact with on this earthly plane. That's what Pentacles represents. First sign of stability in that realm. So out of all the things I just described, as you look at your life, where are you most wanting to feel stability around? Maybe you got something going on with your family, your job, your money, your house. All of these things fall up under the realm of Pentacles. What are you most looking for stability around? And as you give your attention to that this week, I'm hearing Spirit say you will begin to see the first signs of stability in this area. But you need to be looking. This is Spirit, not me. But you need to be looking and you need to be positively focused, or you'll mislabel it as something negative. 4 of Pentacles. The only other thing, is this relevant? Nope, I'm hearing go to the book. I'm not going to give my normal what I say about that because I heard go to the book. So let's see. 4 of Pentacles, possession and control. Those are the key words. And I know exactly why, possession and control. That's where I was going to go. And Spirit was like, no, just read it from the book. The 4 of Pentacles first suggests material gain and stability. So that's what we talked about with the 4. Only good news for the bank account and home. Yet, underneath the surface, this is a card of warning. Do not become possessive or controlling. Holding on too tightly to the material world will leave you rigid, stagnant, and displeasing to others. Wealth is a concept. I like that it says this message is only good news for your bank account and your home. It is. It's good news. It's sign of stability. The part about control and not holding on too tightly is the other message of this card. I'm glad I went to the book because it gave a different way of how I normally say it. If you can think of flow, think maybe that you are, those big, huge, I wish I knew the name of it, but the metal pipes that they put underneath, they have to dig trenches and put them in and it carries water. Usually it's part of the sewage system. Imagine that you just put one of those in and that for months, weeks, maybe even years, you've had trouble with this pipe. You just can't get the flow through it. You can't get the water pressure at the one end. You can't get the incline right so that the water flows. Maybe there's something that always gets in there, animals or something, debris. For some reason, you can just never get the flow right in this big pipe. So you are on it. You're like a dog on a bone. You're trying to figure out everything you can about this pipe and getting it open. And finally, it starts to flow. And instead of you saying, finally, and leaving that pipe alone and going home, you get really, really hyper-focused on that. Oh, it's flowing now, but what if it doesn't? What if it goes back to that? What if that one problem I had last month comes back? What if the water pressure isn't just quite right? What if this is a fluke? What if it doesn't keep flowing? And so you just keep messing with the pipe. Even though it's flowing, you just keep messing with it because you want to make sure nothing goes wrong. That's the control and the going too far in the other direction that this card talks about. You got the flow. Let the flow be the flow. Let it keep going. Let it keep going. Don't get in the way of your flow by trying to overcorrect, by trying to make sure nothing else happens, by assuming when you try to make sure nothing else happens, you assume something else will happen. And Spirit says, all right, I'll send you another clog. I'll send you another block to that thing that you learned how to manifest. And then you said, nope, not good enough. Got to make it better. That's the control. That's that you finally got it and then you immediately choke it off. So can you let your appreciation of what is starting to flow into your life be just appreciation, be hands off? Thank goodness it's finally working. I'm not going to mess with that anymore. Let me put my attention on something else that needs my attention. 4 of Pentacles. I'm going to rewrite the song. Instead of let it go, it's let it flow, don't touch it no more, leave it alone. Y'all make a better song. But that's the idea behind it. Okay, next we have, is that a 5? That is a 5. Oh, we go right from the 4 of Pentacles to the 5 of Pentacles. I'm trying to get, so you can see there's the Pentacles there at the top of the card. I'm not familiar with this depiction of the 5 of Pentacles. 5 usually represent challenges and opportunities. So we're moving right from the 4 into the 5. This is very interesting, coming right on the back of a 4. I'm not going to read this book, what they say about the 5 of Pentacles. I'm going to read energetically because what the book says is not completely in alignment. Spirit, help me understand the 4 to the 5, the energy. The 4 and the 5 have directly opposing energies, which is why I'm pausing, because I just gave you a very good message of stability and good tidings. And then the 5 comes in and directly contradicts that. So, Spirit, what do we need to know about these messages? I'm seeing 2 separate areas. I'm seeing 2 separate paths. And I'm seeing us, wherever we are in our path, wanting to pull those 2 together and call them the same thing. So what I'm seeing is the 4 of Pentacles is talking about one area of your life, and the 5 of Pentacles is talking about another area of your life. Both of these, it almost feels like a tower card could sit right in between these 2 cards, because the energy is you have this beginning sign of stability. We've got the 10, which is we've got something moving out of our life. We're going to, okay, that's done. And then I've got something coming in that's showing me stability. Okay, that's great. I'm not going to have too much control over it. That is all one area of your life starting to shift itself into the right area. I want you to keep in mind that the 10 came first, that we're letting go of something. Oftentimes when we let go of something to make room for something that's coming in, things get a little imbalanced in our life. I think that's what the 5 is pointing to. It's saying this thing that you have been laser focused on bringing into your life, let's just say it's a new job. Let's say it's a new job, and with the new job comes new financial abundance. And this is your 4. It's finally starting to come in. Everything is finally starting to work out. It's all great. And then the 5 comes in and says, this is another area of your life. It may be affected by what you just experienced with your 4, or it might be completely different. But what you're going to experience in this other area is going to be a little bit of sadness, perhaps loss, maybe even grief. And the admonition is, can this still be a positive thing? Can you still see the interconnectedness of what is happening in your life? Can you take a bird's eye view? Can you see that taking this new job and giving you new abundance, now all of a sudden, let's just say the apartment building, I don't know why they would, but let's say the apartment building where you have a lease at just caught on that you have a new job. Why would they would know that? I don't know. And now they're asking you to redo your lease because it's income based. And now all of a sudden you're worried that you're not going to be able to pay your rent. So you had this beautiful new job happen over here. And then over here, there's loss and there's anxiety and there's stress and there's what if I don't requalify and what if I make too much money now? Many people have gone through this scenario in lots of different ways, whether you're on Social Security or you're on fixed income or you're getting some kind of assistance. That idea of, yay, I've made more money. This is great. I finally figured it out. And then immediately, oh, what happens if I can't qualify for those programs that helped me that are making this whole thing possible? What happens if I lose some of my Social Security or I don't qualify for the government benefits and the healthcare anymore? That's what I'm getting. I'm getting there's one lane over here where you're getting, yes, this is positive, keep that flow going. And you're also getting something over here that's affected, that's causing you anxiety and stress. The anxiety and the stress is going to work itself out if you don't focus on it solely and if you don't hold on to it too tightly. So this whole week is about flow. No wonder we started with cups, water, energy, flow. How can you let the things that are meant to be yours flow into your life? And how can you let the things that are not meant to be yours flow out of your life without attaching anxiety and depression and grief and loss to them? Because it's going to feel like that. And the only advice I have for you is if you can take a bird's eye view and step back and realize that if Spirit provided you XYZ, whatever is over here with the 10 of cups and the 4 of cups, if Spirit provided that, then this thing that is coming up for you with the 5 of Pentacles, don't you think Spirit can help you work through that too? But oftentimes we get so caught up in our own mind that we don't allow the flow to also flow into areas that we have thought problematic, unsolvable. I need to be worried about this thing. So let the flow from the good continue to flow into the other areas of your life that you are labeling as problematic, because your Spirit just said, I ain't seeing no problems nowhere, but I know y'all see them. But how can I let this flow come through my life so I'm not so worried? So that's the 5. Seems unrelated but connected. Anything else on this card, Spirit? I just keep hearing bird's eye view, bird's eye view. So whatever you do this week, if you hit a challenge, an unexpected challenge or something, maybe you're already in it. Can you step back, step out of it, give yourself a breather, and try to get Spirit's perspective on it, because that's really going to help you shift things. And we only pulled 4 cards this week. So the last one, let me see, just one moment. Someone said over in chat, almost feels like an opportunity to step completely into flow with no cliffhangers, but completely independent on source, your own inner wisdom. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Looks like Beauty and the Beast flower. Yeah, it does. Beauty and the Beast flower. All right. Last card. I only pulled 4 instead of 5. The Chariot. So we have a major arcana coming through strong. Look at that moon on the chariot, on the horses. And even though it's the Chariot, we have pentacles represented again. Interesting. The Chariot, card number 7 of the major arcana. Fast moving energy is one of the first ways I read this card. Excuse me. But also, the way I teach tarot is taught in 3 different stages and 7 cards for each stage. So this card being number 7 is the completion of the first stage. So along with the Chariot saying we're going to have fast moving energy towards the end of this week. And I feel like that is after we've worked through whatever this is, because this is going to give us a little hiccup, a little bit of our energy feeling like, oh, am I really going in the right direction? Feels like my chariot wheel hit a rock in the road. We're going to have a little bit of that, but we're going to work it out. In the end of the week, we're going to be moving into fast moving energy with the chariots. So that's the first thing to be aware of. Whatever you feel is paused, is slowing, is plateauing, it's going to pick back up with the momentum towards the end of the week. Fast moving energy, first message. Second message, completion of a stage, a cycle, which kind of lines up with the 10 of Cups. Now we've got 2 cards kind of talking about completion of something. But this Chariot is completion in achievement, success. That's what the Chariot represents for me. I've got through this first stage of my whatever it is, and I've got achievement. I've got some measure of success. I'm ready to go forward, not just blindly forward, but I've got a little bit of experience in my backpack, so I know pretty much which way to head as I move forward. And now I'm ready. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to go. Fast moving energy. I do want to go and see what this particular author says about the Chariot. I always like reading the major arcana from different artists. Strong will, triumph. The Chariot is your confidence, your will and your inner warrior. At points in your life when you felt the bliss of achievement or triumph, you were riding on his back. Build a relationship with this part of yourself. Build a relationship with the confident part of yourself, with the inner warrior. I don't have an inner warrior. Yes, the fuck you do. We were all born with one. Yours is probably so quiet that you don't hear it, but everybody has one. So build a relationship with that part of yourself. Try to see the Chariot inside you. The more focused your mind, the easier it will be to sense his presence and stay mounted on his back with a fixed gaze and sure footing. You'll be headed toward all you dream of. Ooh, I fucking love that. I'm glad I went to the guidebook on that one. Headed towards all you dream of. And we started off talking about, that was the question I asked for Spirit. For those of you that it's your first time, I don't always verbalize and speak the question for Spirit out loud before I pull the cards. So I really, really like the synchronicity of that, asking Spirit what we need to know about manifesting our dreams. And then the very last card we pull is this one. And fast moving energy too. The Fool starts out walking in sandals, carrying like a knapsack on his wand. He gets quite a ways. He visits quite a few characters on his path. But now we have this moving us forward. How much more quickly, more steady, more confidence, more powerfully can you move down your path if you're riding on the back of this horse? That's what's in store for you. If you take the advice to move through these move through these challenges early on in the week, then your momentum, your confidence is really going to pick up at the end of the week, moving towards all your dreams. Love that message. Okay. So that's tarot. We're going to move into oracle cards. Spirit, which cards? First oracle deck, Faces of Oshun. Abiola Abrams is the author. This one. And it's that one. What message do we need to know for this week? Oshun of Resurrection. That's gorgeous. A butterfly, maybe a moth, the cycles of the moon, beautiful, dipped in honey. Oshun of Resurrection, card number 5, rebirth, transformation, and renewal. Card number 5, because 5 numerologically is that challenge and opportunity. So perhaps the challenge of the 5 of Pentacles, was it the 5 of Pentacles? It was the 5 of Pentacles. I've got to go back to that then now that I know. The 5 of Pentacles is also the not seeing your opportunities. So now that makes even more sense as I refresh my memory, because the imagery is so different than traditional tarot. I'm like, wait a minute, I know 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles is when your head is down and you're focused on your problems and you're not seeing your blessings. So this is it makes even more sense to me that we're going to have that discordance where Spirit is asking us to take a bigger bird's eye view, because the bird's eye view just means instead of doing this and focusing on your problems and telling the world how problematic and troubled your life is, you allow yourself to see that broader perspective. You step back and you look at a bigger perspective. And in doing that, not only do you understand your life, but the 5 of Pentacles says you start to see your blessings and your opportunities. So this is a card 5 as well. Challenges and opportunities. The opportunities are always larger. I was trying to say larger, and louder got stuck in my mind. Maybe it is louder. The opportunities are always louder, larger, and more impactful than the challenges. But we as humans often get so wrapped up in the challenges that we don't allow the full impact of the opportunities that are riding on the coattails. So how can you accept whatever challenge you are currently in and use that to point you towards the opportunities that are riding on the coattails of that challenge? Resurrection. Let's see what her further message is, aside from the numerology of number 5. Andrea said she's really feeling this pull. I love it. I rise renewed and release what no longer serves me is the key phrase. Initiation of gold. Did you think your story was over? Think again. With the ocean of resurrection at your side, you've been granted a rare second or even third chance. This is not just a new beginning. This is a resurrection, an opportunity to revive dreams you thought were lost and to return stronger from a setback. Something about those dreams. How many of y'all have got dreams on the back burner, dreams on that shelf that's collecting dust? I'm seeing it in a jar on a shelf collecting dust. This is your week to pull it down. An opportunity to revive dreams you thought were lost and return stronger from setbacks. Life is a cycle of endless opportunities, and you're being offered a unique chance to redo, rethink, and renew. What to do now? Take this moment to shed your old self and rise anew like a phoenix resurrected from the ashes of your past failures and disappointments. A phoenix is my spirit animal, one of my spirit animals. Many of you know the story of the phoenix. I want you to picture the phoenix in Harry Potter, though. It's not just, oh my God, my life was so terrible and now I've risen anew and I'm reborn and now I get it and I understand the trials of my youth. Yeah, it's all of that. And that phoenix fucking dies again and again and again and again, constantly being reborn and resurrected. Just because you've overcome some challenge or come through some challenge and you were able to see the opportunity, that's not the end. You're going to have that happen again and again. The question is, how many times are you going to continue to allow yourself to be reborn with the help of spirit? Allow yourself to say, okay, now that I've made it through this trial, thanks for helping me through. Maybe not so much next time, but thanks for helping me through. Now that I'm on the other side, now that I'm reborn, what have I learned and how can I reconstruct my life in a way that feels good for me? Because it's going to happen again. The divine still has plans for you, and this goddess reassures you that it's never too late to change course. Tap into her courage and seize your chance to start over. Your past is not your destiny. You can begin a new adventure when? Every single day. Sometimes twice a day if you take a nap. The wise ones know that the Orisha once walked the earth as mortals. In her mortal life, Oshun was the cherished queen consort to King Shango of Oya. Mortal Oshun was the first woman to earn the respected title of Iyalode in Yoruba culture. She achieved divine status after her passing. She first fell for Shango at a drum festival and became his favored wife. She was also married to Oranmilo, the Orishu of wisdom and divination. Interesting. Okay, that's a lot of hard words for me to say. Here's the healing ritual. Write down what you wish to release and what you wish to invite into your life on separate pieces of paper. Safely burn the paper containing what you wish to release, imagining those issues turning to ash. Plant the paper with your new intentions into a pot of soil as a rebirth symbol of the new life you are nurturing. I really like that. You can also, if you're like, oh, that's too much, I got to go out and buy plant and soil. If you're like, that's too much, okay, do it in your mind. You have a vivid imagination, go into meditation with your guides. Ask the guides, whatever guide is the one that helps you remove things from your life, to come in and take that. Go into your mind, into your imagination, into meditation, and step through that ritual if you don't want to do it in the actual real world. Just as powerful, just as impactful, sometimes more impactful for those of us who are really synced up with our guides in that spiritual space. So go ahead and do that if that calls to you. That's from that deck. Releasing, letting go, shedding myself that's been stuck in grief, but I woke up today feeling stronger. That's a note from the chat. I love it. Rising from the ashes totally resonate. All right, Spirit, what other? I pulled two goddess decks today. I have Goddess Oracle deck and I have Dark Goddess, and I'm being energetically drawn to the Dark Goddess deck. And also I'm like, ooh, don't give me a hard card, Spirit. Don't give me a hard. Do y'all do that when it's like, you know what card is coming? You know what card is coming. Isn't that a pretty deck with the foil on the side? I love it. All right. Let me stop stalling. All right, we've got Dark Goddess. Dark Goddess often points to areas in our life. Ooh, that card came out quick. Where we might need to do a little digging, where we might need to pull the weeds up for that plant that we've planted that we just talked about. Digging and pulling the weeds up, finding those weeds. We might need to do a little bit of work. What do we need to work on? Change. Oh, no, that's not change. I mean, it is change, but I think that's her name as a character. Chang-yi. Obsession. Oh, look at the white bunny rabbits. That's giving me Matrix vibes. Follow the white rabbit. Okay, let's see what the message of this goddess is. I do believe it's Chang-yi. That's the way I'm going to say it. There's a invocation, I guess you would call it. Holding on now, way too tight. That's the Four of Pentacles cards. The Four of Pentacles in regular traditional tarot is someone holding a pentacle in their lap and they've got a death grip on that pentacle. So this is going back to the additional message of not stopping the flow, holding on now way too tight. Fixation rules to get it right. Consumes the mind, so let it go. Step back, release, go with the flow. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. I get chills when the messages resonate across decks, across modalities. We've moved from tarot into oracle, and this message about sums up the entire tarot oracle that we just read. Dark goddess guidance. Being fixated on one thing may initially help achieve a goal, but when it becomes an obsession, things can go wrong. Doing everything for someone else, be it a partner or a child or a parent, might at first feel good, but for who? Children in particular need to learn responsibility for their actions and their words, or they will never be able to fulfill their full potential. You need to step back and let people make their own decisions. And if you're one of those people whose brain just said, but they're always making the wrong decision, but they don't have the skills, the tools to make the right decision. But that's why I'm here. If they could make their own decision, I wouldn't have ever been called in the first place. If you are one of those people, this message is of particular importance to you because Spirit just said all of that is bullshit. I'm trying to give you a message and I need you to listen. You need to step back and let people make their own decisions and their own mistakes. Otherwise, you run the risk of imprisoning them and it backfiring later in life. Don't become the cause of a resentment that will leave you truly isolated. Chang'e knows where such an approach can lead. She urges you to look beyond the one thing that dominates your mind. Remember that life is full of opportunities. If you want to achieve something, then by all means give it your best, but be equally prepared to let it or them go if it doesn't work out. Detachment. You can completely want something with your whole heart, put your foot into it, and still remain detached from the outcome. I know it's true. I also know that we are not conditioned, primed, taught to live that way. So this is your chance. This is your spiritual chance to lean into that and ask Spirit, what does that mean for me? How can I fully be focused on what I want and also remain detached at the same time? Here's the dark goddess's foresight. Is a particular person really worth all your investment right now? Take a moment to clear your head. Stop worrying and actually do something about it. Don't make the pursuit of money your master because there are some things it just can't buy. Heed the advice of those who have gone before you. Interesting that it talks about the pursuit of money and the Four of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles are both usually pointing about our money story, our abundance story. Chang'e revealed. Archetypal fixator of Chinese origin and obsessed with immortality and returning to the heavens, Chang'e swallowed too much of a special pill. It got stuck halfway. She got stuck halfway, becoming the goddess of the moon, where she now dwells with only rabbits for company, destined to forever look to the earth and to heaven, contemplating all she left behind. So that's all it tells me as far as her story. Maybe I want to Google her to get the full story. Sounds like she was going somewhere and she got stuck in between. Same idea, same concept of the Four of Pentacles where we talked about that pipe. There's the flow. It's coming. It's not empty anymore. But somehow you fixated on it so much and got in the way, and now you're stuck. You're stuck between what you know is possible, that flow that's coming, and the fact that, but it's not here right now. It's you. It's you. You're stuck in between. I know it. I know it. I can feel it. I saw it. And it's gone. How do you get back to, I feel it. I see it. The flow is here. Spirit has given us so many messages today of how we get back to that space, how we let go, how we focus on opportunities, how we trust, how we allow ourselves to be reborn. So many opportunities to put that into real world terms, real guidance. Okay, let's read one card from my irreverent deck. Can't let y'all go without being irreverent for a moment. Inner fucking peace. And then we'll do some one card pulls. Please put pick me over in the chat if you would like for me to pull a card for you. We'll get to a few. I already know I won't get to everybody because I see the chat blowing up. Addicted to inner peace. Get your quick fix. Get your quick fix. I'm reading this as you keep saying you want inner peace, but you haven't made it a daily practice. Your quick fix is you asking spirit for inner peace because you want a lifetime, that joyful, blissful peace. And the get your quick fix is spirit saying, you won't even give me 5 minutes of your day. 5 minutes to give yourself peace. What does that look like for you? Does it look like a hot cup of tea where you know you just love that tea and it's just so good? I had some amazing tea last night. What does that look like for you? For me, it usually looks like coffee in the morning. 5 minutes of peace. No one's bothering me. I'm not focusing on emails. It's just me sitting with my coffee. Can you give yourself a quick fix of peace to move you on your way to that lifetime of peace? I just keep getting the message that we ask for the big things and we get dissatisfied with the small steps that get us to the big things. So we never take the small steps and then we whine and complain about never getting the big things. Give yourself 5 minutes of peace. Can you imagine how drastically different your life would be if every day you granted yourself 5 minutes of peace? Every day for the rest of your life. That's how you do it. That's how you get to that life full of peace, is by step by step. All right. Haley, who's up?
Nicole.
Nicole. Is that Nicole E or Nicole F?
There's just one Nicole today. I'm not sure which one.
Nicole, put it over in chat if it's, I want to know which one. But let's pull a tarot card for you. Nicole Farson. Okay. Even if you are not the one receiving this card personally, I'm pretty sure just because you're in this circle, you are not here by mistake. So receive this as your message as well. But Nicole, specifically for you, you have completely different deck, 4 of Pentacles. And this is what I'm talking about, the card of where she's clutching her purse tightly. I'm not even going to go into this message. This is just more impactful for you, Nicole. It's saying really pay attention. And Nicole reads tarot. Really pay attention to what this card means for you, Nicole. Since we spent so much time on it, I'm not going to go into the details, but I am going to say since we pulled that card again, Spirit's trying to tell us something. Spirit's like, y'all didn't listen the first time. Let me put it in there again from a whole different deck. All right, who's next?
Ellis B.
Ellis. Hi, Ellis. Good Lord. Y'all saw me shuffle, did you not? 5 of Pentacles. We just pulled the 4 and the 5 of Pentacles for the collective, and now we pull the 4 and the 5 back to back from a completely different deck after shuffling between pulls, and we have the 5 of Pentacles. I'm going to say this is our homework assignment from Spirit for everyone present, even on YouTube. Look up the 4 and the 5 of Pentacles in tarot, or listen back to this recording. It's on YouTube. Listen back to this recording as I explain the 4 and 5 and see what maybe your brain picks up the second time through. Because for Spirit to give it to us again, completely different context, completely different deck, same order, 4 first and then 5. I can't make this shit up. There's definitely something there that Spirit really wants us to pay attention to. As far as the message, you're not seeing your blessings, you're not seeing your opportunities. She's so down and out, focused on what's going wrong that she can't see. Not only is the key there, But Spirit's like, it's kind of dark in there. Maybe she didn't see it. I'm going to send a beam of light directly shining on this metal object so that she can't miss it. And what's she doing? Missing it because she's too wrapped up in her own story. 5 of Pentacles. Look for your blessings because Spirit is trying its best to show it to you. All right, I want to go to, one moment. Let me see if that person is still here. Yes, I'm going to go to a rare. I'm going to pull a card for a rare. One card pull. Let me triple shuffle because those 2 cards back to back. That's pretty amazing. All right, Spirit, what you got for us? Three of Cups, sisterhood, community, cups, water, flow. This is almost always the card I get when it's community. Where are your helpers? Where's your sisterhood? The ones that are going to keep your head up, looking to the star, encouraging, supporting. So get you some of those this week. That's your message, sweet and simple. All right. Haley, who's next?
Linnea.
Linnea. Linnea, 3 cards jumped out. I'm picking one, and it's the Fool. I love it. Take a chance. Trust. This is not a trust fall in the way that we often think of trust falls, like at corporate retreats, where you're just like, I hope they catch me. I hope they catch me. I hope they catch me. This is more of I am so optimistic and so trusting of Spirit that I don't need to know what's there. I know they'll catch me. I know they'll catch me. I know they'll catch me. There's a little bit more substance behind this Fool card energy for you today. So take a chance, knowing that you are protected, knowing that you will be caught. Whoa, y'all saw me shuffle. I shuffled. Linnea, just so that you know, your other 2 cards are the 10 of Cups, which is the first card we pulled in the collective, and the 3 of Cups, which I just talked about for the other person. That's crazy, y'all. I feel like my deck is betraying me. It's making it feel like I'm pulling these cards on purpose, and I'm not. I promise I'm not. All right. I do want to remind you all of the Magician's Way. It is a monthly membership that you all can join, and you get me once a week. We meet every week on Tuesdays. We have channeling sessions. We have a bit of psychic development. We have energy healing, which happens tomorrow, which even if you're not in the membership, you can still come to the energy healing session. It's a clear, it's a rebalance, it's a calling in energies that are most beneficial to us. Very impactful session for energy work. And then we have the end of the month where we do office hours, which is your chance to bring your questions to the forefront, and I will answer. So all of that, amazing. Please join the Magician's Way. Yes, named after the Tarot card. It's our way of channeling energy and knowing where to direct it in our life and how to use the tools and the skills that Spirit has bestowed upon us. The Magician's Way, how to manifest the life you actually want and not all this bullshit we've been dealing with. All right, where are we at? 11:56. I'm going to do one more 1 card pull. Haley.
Okay, there's 2 Deborahs, but this one is Deborah with a white and red icon.
Deborah with the white and red icon. All right. What does Deborah need to know? Oh, it's that one. The moon. Oh, the moon is a very, very symbolic card. Let me see. Spirit, what do you want us to know here? Water. Okay, this message is not tarotically speaking. This is not the actual tarot meaning of the card, but I very clearly heard this message. They told me to focus on water first, and I said, what do we need to know about water? And they said, you are in the water, and you might feel like you are drowning. You might feel like there's not enough air. You might feel a little confused in the darkness, and Spirit is saying, but girl, you're in the water, so you're still in flow. Let me help you flow so that it feels more pleasurable and so that you don't feel like you're drowning. That's what I heard. But you're still in the water, so you're still in flow. All right, so that's what I have for you. Okay, now we're going to do an energy activation here in our last couple of minutes. And the energy that we are going to activate is the letting go of those things that don't serve us and remaining in flow with the things that are either on their way to us or that are so serving us. The idea of taking the focus off of what's going wrong, that lady with her head down and couldn't even see the key, and lifting our head up, bigger, broader perspective so we can see the blessings, the key, the answers, the clarity. So I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you and take a deep breath in and a slow exhale. Do that one more time, a deep inhale and a slow exhale. Now I want you to call to mind one thing that you are done with. One thing in your life that you have no more fucks to give for. Something that's annoying you, something that's bothering you. Somewhere in your life where there is lack and you are ready to let go of it and shift out of that. And I want you to see that energy, that thing, that experience, whatever that is that you no longer want. I want you to see it burning. It's a big bonfire in front of you and you're tossing it on there. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a lack of abundance, lack of friends, lack of motivation, lack of energy. Maybe it's a health issue. Throw it on that bonfire, whatever it is for you. To make this bonfire big, everybody's throwing it on the bonfire. It's burning, smoke. It's gone. It's been taken away. Your guides have helped you. Even those things that felt sticky, that you felt like you couldn't throw, your guides took it, walked it over to the bonfire for you, tossed it on the bonfire. It's gone. It is gone. It is gone. In this moment, can you let it be gone? Can you believe that it is energetically gone from your life? And your only job is to wait until physical reality catches up and reflects back to you that it is gone. But energetically, it is gone. That fire has burned it away. And now out of this fire, you see this beautiful phoenix rising. And this phoenix is everything that you do want. It's all of the abundance. It's all of the joy. It's all of the happiness. It's all of the things working out. It's the bliss. It's the openness. It's the freedom. And this phoenix is coming and flying over. There's phoenixes for everyone. Flying over and standing right by you. Feel that energy next to you, around you. And this phoenix is going to be your guide for the next several days. How do I walk in the belief that the joy, the bliss, the abundance, everything that you were reborn, everything that you bring to me is mine? And that phoenix is saying, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you this new life, this rebirth, this resurrection. So just feel that energy and let that energy be the guiding energy for you this week as you walk towards that and away from those things that are not serving you. Take a deep breath in and a slow exhale. Let that energy really sit with you, knowing that you can return back to this at any time throughout your week. And go ahead and open your eyes and come back to the room. And thank you all so much. We went a couple of minutes over, but hopefully that really felt good as we sat in that energy and allowed that energy to come in. All right. Thank you all so much. I hope I see some of you tomorrow at our energy healing session. I hope I see even more of you back next week for Magical Money Manifestations. And I hope you take these messages and truly manifest the lives of your dreams. Bye, everyone. Have an amazing